Tribe! We're jumping into today's ICAD Challenge Day 5, and the word prompt of the day is verdigris. And we're gonna get started by picking out our index card. So I'm picking out a green one just to give me, oh yeah, I forgot, I have this darker green one, gray green, which is actually perfect and gonna give me a jump start for today's technique. Now, today's technique is going to be a little bit more involved than probably my other cards that I've put together. I'm going to be using a salt technique along with, well, you'll see. We're going to get into it now. Right now, I am putting tissue paper on top of my index card, and I'm taking care to leave some of that gray-green color. And I'm coming in with a little bit of rust brown mixed with some metallic copper paint, and I've watered it down so that that tissue paper could absorb it. I also poured the excess of that into my coffee container where I have excess coffee. And here I'm wanting to show y'all that where that metallic copper paint watered down with that rust brown gave a nice coppery finish on top of that tissue paper, which is what I was wanting. Now I'm mixing together my verdigris texture colors. So I came in with some lime green, some moss green, some turquoise blue, some Caribbean blue, and a little bit of dark blue. And I'm sprinkled over salt, as well as came in with the dropper and dropped that coffee paint mixture. And I went and did that under a heat dryer, a heat gun, and let me get in a little bit closer so you can see the salt. So now this salt has dried onto the top of the card with that paint and that coffee, and I'm gonna take my finger and start brushing off, removing the salt, and the effect that's underneath should give that verdigris texture and appearance. There should be little pits. There should be some bits of salt that have adhered to the card because the paper became soft with all that watery paint, and some of that salt dissolved into that. So when I hit it with my heat gun, it became a part of the paper. And so there's going to be some of that salt that's going to remain, but I'm brushing off the excess and getting it removed from the card. And I'll come in closer so you can see all those details, but it should give the same effect as if you're gonna age copper itself in vinegar. It should have that same look and that same effect to achieve the verdigris that we want. And just removing all of this. This is a messy process, so be prepared to get messy. I mean, the salt goes everywhere. You're gonna have excess paint on your hands. It's just a mess, but it's a fun mess. I'm gonna finish cleaning this up, and then I'm gonna let y'all take a look at the card. All right, so I've got my salt mess cleaned up. So here we're coming in to check out these colors, this texture, some of that pitting, some of that, how the rust color came through with the green and the blues. It's just turned out absolutely scrumptious, I think. I mean, look at that texture with that rust and that copper color just coming through. And you can kind of see where the coffee and the salt mix gave those little pitted areas, the dark, and with the texture. So I love it, and I finished wiping it off, and I'm coming in with that Spackle, where I pushed Spackle through a stencil and created these three-dimensional shapes. I'm coming in with that leftover paint from my verdigris process, and I'm kind of doing the same thing with these Spackle pieces, but I didn't use the salt. I just came over the top, and those shapes were painted pink previously, and I just came in over the top and painted them my green mixture, and then added that coffee mixture, and then hit it with a heat gun, and to get this effect, this nice color effect. And I love how that turned out. However, I should have done these on some wax paper, because you see I'm about trying to have to peel these off with this paper, but I got it off and it worked. So now I'm coming in with some giblets. It's kind of, I have some paper that's that rusty brown, so I'm bringing that in a little bit to give some contrast on some of those more green places. And then I'm coming in and I'm putting those three-dimensional shapes that we've just painted, and those are from Spackle. I felt like the edges needed to be a little bit more distressed and grungy, so I'm coming in with a kind of coffee chocolate brown ink pad and grunging up those sides, and I'm coming in with some more coffee and sprinkling that, and then my Lar graphic pencil, and doing a little bit more distressing and kind of hitting those edges around those three-dimensional shapes to make those pop off the page, since they're the same color. But here you'll see everything's still wet, damp, crinkled, but you can kind of see where I was going with that. And I'm about to hit this under the heat gun right quick and get it dry. All right, so now it's dry. Let's take a look at the colors and the textures. I love how this pink on these three-dimensional shapes are coming through. And actually, it almost looks like it's copper in a way that's peeking through, even though that's pink. But I ended up loving how that turned out, and it just works. I love all the texture and how that turned out with those 3D spackle bits on those shapes, and then look at how that copper color is just coming through, and that little bit of metallic is shining. And I just love all this grungy texture and this color of the Verdigris. It looks amazing. I'm so pleased at how this turned out. I'm very excited. So now I'm coming in with my Dollar Tree rub-on little graphics, and I found this little butterfly, and it's kind of the same color, and I was going to rub it on, and I realized I didn't have the stenciled piece peeled off of it. So now I'm coming back in and doing the rub-on transfer, and part of that wing broke when I forgot about to peel off that clear adhesive piece. Anyway, coming in with some book page quotes, and I distressed them with a little bit more coffee just because I thought they were too bright and they needed to be grunged up. So I'm putting that there onto this piece. And of course, I got a date stamp it, and I just went ahead and stamped the next day's date too, and I set that off to the side, being productive. And this is our card, so we're coming in for a little bit of a closer look. And of course, last looks are going to be posted at the very end. If you want to know more about the ICAD challenge, check out the description box below for all the details, and I would love to hear that you've joined in as well. If you'd like to see my previous days, check out the other videos from day 1 all the way through day 4. Each day I film and post here, and so check those out and let me know what you think. I want to say thank y'all so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to become a part of the Tater Tribe. That would be amazing, and I hope you're all having a really great day, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye!